week on from the first announcement of lockdown, and we have been living in unconventional times for a week. How are you surviving? Today I'm going to be talking about authenticity, why it is so important right now, and how you can be more authentic and use this time here and now to realise what is working for you and what is not. So I don't know about you, but I wasn't really planning for this week that we've just had. And it's meant that certain sides of my personality have been escaping perhaps more than he'd been aware of before.
I mean, it's just like totally gonna be fine, and we're gonna be like so healthy, and we're gonna have like lemon water, and we'll stretch, and it's gonna be so good for us.
I want more food! I want crisps! Yeah. We should stay in. We don't need anything. Why should we go out? We don't need to go out. It's okay. We've got supplies. Got tea. We'll be okay.
Oh, and where are you going?
Out. We need there's stuff.
Oh,
We don't have toilet paper.
No. It's a public health risk. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No. Get back here. Get there.
So all joking aside, that was a little bit of fun. I hope it made you laugh and smile and gave you a little bit of serotonin and oxytocin today. But it is important to notice what is coming up for you in this time where your routine is disrupted despite best efforts, and where maybe staying positive and looking towards the future is harder because it's ever changing. So authenticity is a really big topic, and I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet for you today. But I really think, for me, the person who sums it up wonderfully, and if you don't know her work, please go check it out. But Brené Brown said, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. Here and now is an opportunity for us to unpack who we think we have had to be and start being who we really are. Start embracing who's on the inside of you, knowing that, loving that person, and expressing them freely. So, how do you become more authentic? First up is know your values. This is something that you can do in a quick exercise, and I'll try and post a link below to some of the sheets that you can use. But it's essentially knowing what are the values that sit at the core of who you are. Mine are things like community, learning, and growth. But you might have adventure, you might have dependability. It's up to you what they are, and you can go through and do sort of a 10-15 minute exercise and find out what they are. But if you don't know them, it's really important to start here because everything else comes off of them. Your values then drive your beliefs. So 2 is know and understand your beliefs. What are they, and are you living congruently to them? It sounds silly, but if you have a belief that we should be honest and fair, and yet you lie when somebody asks you, do they look good in that dress? Because you don't want to hurt their feelings, you're being incongruent with your values and your beliefs. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Sometimes we can select purposely to go against them. But if you're doing it all the time, it's not going to make you happy, fulfill you, or be purposeful. Next up is understand every part of you. This means even the parts you don't like. They are you. I have so many clients asking me, how will I be fixed? How will I be healed? When can I get rid of this part of me? But so often the internal critic or the anxiety or the part of you that is holding you back is doing so for a reason. It's trying to look after you, and it is a part of you. And it's not until you address it and you understand why it's coming up and what it is telling you that you can really move on in life. This step requires perhaps the most courage and the most vulnerability. But if you can do it, if you can look at yourself, all of yourself, and accept it and love it, and I mean love every part of you, then you will be able to move forward, grow, and be a happier person. This one is a little bit easier, but still requires some flexibility, and that is understanding that failures and weaknesses are not bad. They are good. They are areas for growth and learning. Being authentic requires a growth mindset. And if you don't know what that is, it was first described by a lady called Carol Dweck. She's a doctor in psychology, and she has researched learning patterns in our brains. We can have a fixed mindset, which is a belief that things can't change, learn, or grow. We can have a growth mindset, which believes that if we put the effort in, we can change and learn, and that our mistakes are just lessons for us. They're not a problem. They're how we grow, and are essential to our growth. If we are not making mistakes, we won't be learning. We're staying in our comfort zone, and we're not expanding our minds, our consciousness, or our capabilities. Next up is have a daily practice of mindfulness. Be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. It is really, really important to feel the whole rainbow of emotions, and we've seen rainbows going up in windows all around at the moment as a sign of positivity and hope. But I want you to remember, every single colour in that rainbow is important, not just one or two. And whilst we might not want to stay in our negative emotions or our more challenging emotions, they are important to feel, allow to flow through us, and then pass on from. So if you want to be authentic, you're not going to be happy all the time. Being authentic is about being honest and true about what's going on for you. Finally, once you are more congruent with the size of yourself, you're expressing and feeling your emotions, and you are able to then use and access those parts of yourself, now you need to make sure that you are filled up to the brim with what you need. So it is self-care, but it's deeper than that. Make sure your needs are met every day. You are the person responsible for meeting those needs, and you are the person who is responsible for your happiness and fulfillment, no one else. That's part of being authentic, is understanding we are responsible for our own selves. I hope this has helped. There are lots of exercises we can do, and if you've got any questions, please let me know. But I was trying to keep it short today so that I'm not taking too much of your time. We're 1 week in, we will survive, and we will come through this. Let's use this time to grow exponentially.